on this fine day, we're going to get into a post that I just posted on my Fedbook account. I want people to, if you agree with it, to repost this video or whatever and basically do what it says. And you don't have to take a lot of action. All you have to do is do it in your mind and in your heart on a daily basis. You have to do it daily, always consciously. Know who you are and know what you represent here. And so, what I posted here, I'm going to read, and then I'm going to flip the camera here, and you guys can watch this little clip that I found on that was shared on Fedbook too. I don't know if they'll be keeping this up, but hopefully I'll be able to share this on my Fedbook account every day. So this is a call to the people of the world. Everyone who sees this or sees my post on the Fedbook account, this is for you, okay? So those who agree, repost and share. They put it in plain sight to tell you who and what they are and what they are doing, but you ignore it and pass it off as though it doesn't matter. You continue your lives with your blinders on and help perpetuate their manipulation of the world. Today you think you're free. Tomorrow you will not be free because you did nothing about them today. But I do not accept that. I will not bow down and conform to their image. I do not consent. I revoke powers of attorney and claim my life, essence, the estate, and the very DNA as my own gift from the Most High Creator. And I demand the cowards who manipulate from the shadows like the cowards that they are to cease and desist any and all actions against me and my world. On behalf of all the sleepers, I claim the same on your behalf until you wake up, until you are mature enough to take responsibility and make these same claims above. No, same above claims for yourselves. I hereby claim the same. And we demand the cease and desist of weather manipulation and modification, DNA manipulation and modification, food manipulation and modification, water manipulation and modification, air manipulation and modification, etc., etc., that directly affects all of life on planet Earth. Cease and desist immediately. We, being mankind and Mother Earth together, and all its glory and life thereof, do not consent to your dark shadow control and manipulation. We are not your puppets. We are not your property. You do not own everyone and everything, and we are free. Cease and desist immediately. If you globalist cabal members do not cease and desist, you are hereby now and forevermore wrongdoers and trespassers, also known as criminals committing crimes not only against humanity, but all of life here itself. It is time to take the power back by taking responsibility for this planet that we live in and on, and clean up our act and make the world a better place in the here and the now, in our hearts and minds, and very being that we are. Let it be, and thank you to those who repost and share this world call to take responsibility for yourselves as well as for those who still sleep. We do this for ourselves. We do this for everyone else. You do it in here, and it gets out there. It's a vibration. It's an intent. Okay. Now, what inspired this is all my years of research. What up, Jeff? What up, Brutus? What's happening? All my my basic life, like I've never been the same as everybody else. My parents used to hate it, man. When I was a kid, they I remember a specific thing my dad used to yell at me. Well, I think my mom even said it too, but they weren't together when I was being raised. So this is two separate things, but they're like, "What makes you so special? You think you don't have to follow the rules?" And I always was like, I don't know. I was just a little kid. I didn't know. What do you mean I'm supposed to follow some rules? What? I didn't see any rules, you know. And and now that I'm an adult and I have awareness of what that question means, and the foundation of it is basically what makes you think you're so special. You don't have to be a slave like everybody else. That's basically what they were saying. And I say, I make me so special. Maybe the Creator made me so special. Maybe I was sent here to be so special, and so are you. So fuck the system, F12, and they can eat a bowl of dizzles. You know what I mean? The truth is they are trespassers. It doesn't matter if they put it in their legal system. It doesn't matter if they tell you in their TV shows, okay? It doesn't matter that they use these inadvertent, indirect ways of telling you their bullshit plans. It's still a deceit. It's still a manipulation. It's still a cowardice, theft, and wrongdoing against the world and the people thereof. Doesn't matter. They put it in a TV show. Oh, yeah, well, the cabal, they gotta tell you in their TV shows. They have to tell you in, what they're doing. Who cares that they use TV shows and we can see it? But what about the sleepers? They're not aware yet. It's a deceit on them. Because it was a deceit on us. You know, they trained the people before us that you have to get a birth certificate and you have to get a social security number and you have to register your biological property, aka your freshly born baby, into their fraud system. And then you got to teach that baby to commit fraud by identifying as a piece of paper, identifying as a name. Like you catch people all the time. Hi, I'm Jeheretic. I'm Jeheretic. I'm a name. Well, used to be growing up, name calling was a bad thing. And now we're name calling? No. I'm not a name. Obviously I'm not a name. I answer to a particular sound when called by friends and family. But I don't need to get too detailed into that. You all know. But this is more of a what you can do for yourself and for other people. We can do this on behalf of others until they wake up. We're just doing it to put the energy out there to increase awareness and to take the world back before you know you know they think they're gonna completely enslave us, and I don't consent to that shit. I don't think it's logical. I don't think it's part of our destiny, and I know damn well that they cannot violate our consent. So revoke the powers of attorney, revoke your consent, and do it in your mind and in your heart on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if you have a piece of paper or not. The most powerful thing you can do is not in paper. It's in your mind and in your heart. Because when you get this mind and this heart tied together and they start to do things, it puts an effect into this realm, into this world. So that being said, claim back your power and announce it with your voice. And anytime you think about it, just say it. Even if you mumble it to yourself or say it within yourself. If you have thoughts that you don't agree with that could actually be from outside influences, like the radio frequencies that they're using on us as weapons, so on and so forth, just take those thoughts captive. Say, no, I don't agree with that thought. Get out of me. And then whatever that thought was, say like you're getting in the car and you're going to go to the grocery store and you have a thought that somebody's going to run their car into your car. Or you're going to have some kind of accident. Say, no, I do not accept that. I will not have an accident. I will get to the store and shop just fine, and I will find healthy, nice, yummy foods for my body, and I will make it home just fine. Replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations and just say, I don't accept that. It really does something. You think it doesn't? I dare you to try it and put it into practice daily. It's just like if you're a Christian, it's kind of part of your Christianity that you should be doing that, because even Jesus says, take in the Bible it says, take all thoughts captive into the obedience of Christ. What does that mean? If we are the light consciousness, the Christ consciousness on earth, if we are the Christ here now, then what is it to take your thoughts captive into the obedience of Christ? It's where you have a negative thought and you replace it with a positive one. Oh, my neighbor's house is going to catch on fire. No, I don't accept that. On behalf of my neighbor, I say it will not happen. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I don't know. But it could be that you just doing that could stop that fire from happening. There's a lot of fucking power in our hearts and our minds that people don't really grasp. And until you start putting it into practice, you're not going to grasp it. So just like this post on Facebook, I post things. I put videos out because I'm putting that energy out there to the world. And sometimes I don't, share this information. I'm just working on something and it comes to my head and I do it in my own time. Last week, I was thinking about the theft of our energy from the reptilians and the government systems and all these ideas that are out there that are talking about how they have basically made us slaves to their systems, having depression, low vibe energies, anger, fits, and these types of energies are said to be feeding certain beings, along with our labor energy and all this stuff, right? So I was like, well, you know what? Whether it's true or not, let's just say it is true. And I'm pissed off now because they're stealing my energy. Yeah, I might get mad at something when I'm working on something, but that doesn't mean some invisible entity right outside of my realm can take that energy and use it for itself without my consent. That's my energy. That's my anger. That's my depression. And I claim it for myself. You cannot have it anymore, I said. I said, any and all of you government and invisible entities or around this plane are now hereby trespassers when you take my energy without my written permission. So until you cowards hiding in the shadows show up in person and give me full disclosure as to what you're doing with my energy, you cannot have it. And then, if you want it, we're going to have to come up with some mutual exchange, because I'm not giving these away without an exchange for something else besides. I really need these, and I'm not giving it to you. It's like energy. It's my energy. You didn't have permission to take it, and apparently my silence was acquiescence, I guess, for you to commit theft. So you sneak around in the shadows and hide and sneak energy and sneak people into being slaves, deceit. That's a wrongdoer. That's a coward. That is theft. That is criminal. You follow? Yeah, I bet you follow. So do it for yourself on a daily basis. It's no joke. Anything that comes into you to create an awareness of it. It is from source, no matter whether it's positive or negative. Some of these things are to hone your character and to build you up because all things are, come on. Oh, okay. Remember, all things are there for your benefit, to grow you, to benefit you, to heap you up, to all experiences, right? Even the ones that you think are just like, oh my God, oh, somebody died, or there's a big something or other, everything. Sometimes stupid, really crappy things have to happen just to get you to stop and look at what's going on around you, because you're just. And sometimes, I have a really good story actually about this kind of. So, right before the vid came out, right? It was like December. December. I was living in Southern California at my aunt and uncle's house, and I was going to the CNC factory as a job, and I guess people were going overseas to China and coming back to the factory, during holiday. And now I don't know what's what, but whatever it is, while I was working at this factory, I came down with some kind of attack on my lungs. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was getting fat, I was like, because I had a back injury and I was starting to get fat, and then like I couldn't breathe, so it got to where it was even hard to put a sock on my foot. And I was like, what is going on? Anyways, I digress. I'm not going to get into details about that, but I want to say with this loss of breath, I was getting dizzy and not having such a coherent time. One night after work, I'm driving home, doing my routine drive, and I about missed my exit. And I'm like, I don't know, it's like, was it a 4-lane road or a 3-lane highway? And then it turned into 4 for the exit. It was a big one, and I was about, not the farthest over, but the one in. And I was like, oh crap. So I look over, nobody's there, and I juke over, and I'm driving this little pissant Nissan Sentra with a 4-banger in it. It has like no balls. Okay. I go, and it has shitty handling. So I go to juke off and hit that exit, and the little car just lost control, and I'm trying to get back control, and I end up going up the off ramp a little bit and then back down over the bank and across a bunch of ice plant. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a succulent, right? And I slide down and back into the freaking highway, and like under this overpass, and I'm sliding sideways, looking straight down the highway out of my side window, and I'm like romping on the throttle, trying to get this car to freaking go that way and straighten out. Well, the car didn't have enough power to pull itself out of the slide and just made the slide faster. Ugh, what a terrible handling car. Anyways, so I'm like, crap, and I'm getting closer to the uh, guardrail underneath the overpass, and I'm like, crap, I'm gonna hit that thing. So I just slam on the brakes, hit that freaking thing, and I'm looking out my passenger window up the highway at all the headlights coming at me, and it's like everything's on pause. Everything was paused. I mean, California, traffic doesn't stop. It doesn't pause. It doesn't have big time breaks in it like this for this to happen. I'm just like, what the heck? Now what do I do? Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking for a minute, and I'm like, why is nobody going by? Why is there nobody here? And they're just, and I'm like, okay, I better get this car off the road. So I back it up and I go backwards back up the highway towards all the lights. And they're just sitting there like it's on pause, twinkling in the distance. So strange. I get back to the off ramp that I was intending to take, and I all the way over and get under a street light. And as soon as I stopped the car under that street light, traffic resumed. Shoo, 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 people going by all over, right? And so the point of the story is I asked God, the creator, what the hell was that? And the voice says, though you think things are out of control, I am still in control. Oh, so don't worry too much about stuff, but remember that you have the power to take that power back, and that's the power that the Creator gave us, right? Whatsoever the infinite realm, the infinite mind that made this place, and that was pretty foundational for me. And from then on, I kind of realized that I can do whatever I will. It's not like a free for all. It doesn't mean go around harming and robbing and stealing and killing. It means I could do whatever I want and go through this life to evolve myself and to grow myself and to learn about how and why we're here to take control of this situation. We think things are out of control. You watch the news and you think all these Kabbalists and these douche canoes are in control of everything, but they're not. They're panicking because of us waking up. It's scaring the shit out of them because our minds and our hearts create this realm. The only reason society works the way they set it up is because they had to use our consciousness to create that society. That's why all the brainwashing was so important. And though you think things are out of control, the Creator is still in control, no matter which way you look at it. And you are one with the Creator, and so is everything else, because it cannot be separate from its Creator. It's like you have a story in your mind, and you create this like a little movie scenario. Everything in that movie scenario, down to if there's a pencil in it, is a part of you. So, like with the Creator, everything here is a part of the Creator because it's Creator's creation. The infinite mind. Right? So, what's our purpose? What is your calling? Your calling is to be aware, to be awake, and take your power back. So some of the most foundational things for us to learn while we're here is this theft and abuse of power. So I digress on that note. And that's my morning hello and sharing, because hell is low and heaven is high. We are that, you know. I'm not a Christian as a follower of the church, but there are some words that just ring true from the stories of Jesus that I hold to. And that's the basic rules, is do unto others as you'd have done to yourself. Which means what? And oh no man, anything but to love him, and even that's debatable. But no. Um, yeah. And what else? The world is a vampire. So peace, love, and unity takes time, takes conscious effort, and it 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 doesn't really take a lot of, like, yes, physical action can help clean your house, clean your dishes, organize your surroundings to where it feels more better for you, because it only helps your own soul. But you know, you're not going to go out and make the neighbors change, okay? You have to change yourself, work on yourself, focus on yourself, take responsibility for the self, and in your prayers, take responsibility for others until they wake up. You're not going to make them wake up. You're not going to take the horse to the water and stuff its head down into it and force it to drink, because it'll drown. Let those who would believe whatsoever they wish to believe, believe that which they wish to believe. For it will not wake up until it is ready. You either do it in you, you do it in you, and you watch shit change. I'm serious, man. Crazy. Was it 20 years ago? I'm going to finish with this. Hang on, I got another moment. I'm going to finish with this. Like 20 years ago, I was questioning our skies, at night especially. If we're revolving around the sun, why is it the constellations are exactly the same and they always have been? Yeah, they move a little bit here and there. But, you know, if I put Alf up there on the wall and I put my TV over here on that wall and I put a light in the middle of this room and I go from that side of the light to this side of the light, I'm not going to see Alf anymore, but I am going to see a TV. Okay? And vice versa. If we're revolving around the sun, okay, so I had that thought. Now I'm seeing people say the same thing on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube videos, along with all this government conspiracy stuff like it used to be when I first got into it. There's hardly anybody aware of it. Now it's becoming more aware. Why? Because you and I got it into ourselves and it leached out through energy. We're all connected. It's a universal consciousness, and when people finally really get to the point to where they know that there is no government, there is no state, and nationalism is just another word for separation of mankind for manipulation and control to keep us stupid, crappy slaves, then, the more people start to wake up to that, and they get over the anger about it and the depression about it, and they start to realize, hey, we can make our reality better, then, yeah, that's where we're going. All right, so have a good day. Thanks for stopping by, and do you, you do you, and I'll do me. Okay, see you later, buddy. See you later, Brutus and Jeff. Thanks for stopping by.